Produced by the Cleveland Sound Radio Network. Here is the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, hosted by Glenn Moore and Steve Guy.
Welcome. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. I'm Glenn Moore, joining Steve Guy here in studio. And this is, Steve, how we changed our format. We're not going to be recapping Raw, SmackDown, TNA, pay-per-views. We'll do that from time to time when something big happens, but we're going to be discussing each week a new topic, from the Evasion angle to Attitude Era to the Monday Night Wars, WCW, different topics, different gimmicks, wrestlers, and we'll have people on to debate, to discuss our topic for the week. This week is best and worst entrance theme songs when it comes to wrestling. We'll be talking about guys from the old Attitude Era, from the early 90s, late 90s, 2000s, to even current themes, from ECW mixed in there, TNA, WWF, WB, WCW. So, Steve, I'm looking forward to this because, first of all, we're changing the format up, and this is kind of like when you're talking wrestling with your buddies and music comes up, people have their own tastes, their own likes, their own dislikes. So I wanted to bring on a good friend that also is a wrestling fan, part of the wrestling Facebook group that I'm part of, that he invited me on.
You guys are in wrestling Facebook groups?
Yeah, we talk about wrestling. Ryan Kelly from the band Seafair here in Cleveland, a rock band. Ryan, we appreciate you coming in studio, man, and talking some wrestling.
My pleasure.
This isn't the first time you've been on CLESound.com either, though. This is your second time, officially.
I'm a veteran.
You were on the
veteran of the podcast game.
Yeah, the Bull Pro. That's where you and I met, the Bull program, early last year, and invited me onto the Facebook group, and been talking wrestling for almost a year.
Yeah, man.
So
it's good to finally get on it.
Yeah, we would talk about doing this episode for a while.
Yeah.
Just hasn't had the time or the right timing to get it done. So here we go. We'll be talking about the best and worst entrances. You can chime in on Twitter. I put a question out there on Twitter. Got a lot of responses. We'll take your responses, too. And when you're listening, make sure to tweet at us at TIA Wrestling and let us know what you guys liked and disliked, because we have a very different opinions about different music for professional wrestling.
There's some things that we agreed upon. And I think, in fairness, we should probably throw this out there as a disclaimer. We could have kept going back further and further and further. But I think we all probably got to a certain point where we're like, well, in fairness, a lot of the old stuff was inherently cheesy due to the times.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Right? But I think we probably stopped somewhere in the mid-'80s, because then it just gets awkward after that.
Yeah. So we had our top 10 list for each of us for best and worst. We're not going to sit here and go through each list, but we are going to discuss some of the best, some of the worst, and all the music is ready to queued up, ready to go as well for your listening pleasure. All right, guys, let's start with you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, your list, obviously I think we all agree upon Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
The Rock. These guys.
I don't even know if Austin's music is that good. It's just the glass.
It's the glass.
Yeah, it definitely. And there's just so many ones that we all agree on that are just the best. And there's some on our list that we are scratching our head over. There's some on our list that we like and we don't like, and some that you like and I don't like.
Yeah.
But just taking a look at your list, you have the Undertaker, the current Undertaker theme. I assume correct as your top theme.
Just throughout, like the Dead Man, like
the gong, the original,
like
just
the
gonging
slow organ. Ever since his first theme, up until now when he uses the variety of it, but just that as a whole, it was different at the time, and it was now it's iconic almost.
So you're like me, like you like that stuff because you're right, it is iconic. Like anybody in pop culture can play that.
Yeah.
And then I hated when he deviated from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was a big red.
That's on my worst list.
Boogie, and he's.
I think it's on all of our worst lists.
He's coming out with no. There's one person in this
I love it.
trio that loves
Dead Man.
it. Yeah, and between
so bad.
This Dead Man Walking.
Here comes the Undertaker. Like, it's so bad.
You know what this is? Right here. Glenn, if you would start that again. And I'm just going to sing over the beginning real quick. Wait, dead man walking. Get ready. I came to play. This is just the Miz's music right here.
See?
This is the Miz's music.
Oh, dear God.
You can put the
That's
words
another
I
one
came
that's
to
terrible.
play over this,
That's absolutely correct.
and that's what you've got. I mean, I appreciate that he tried to get Kid Rock involved in there and Limp Bizkit at one point, but no,
time, man.
You're the Undertaker. Just come to me with the Death March,
That's
all
all
right?
you need, really.
That's all I
That's it.
want. Come down with smoke and
Yeah.
fog.
Yeah.
Not on your motorcycle.
Yeah.
See,
That the Big Show had to carry through the desert because it was out of gas, and he made a tie out of a snake.
now on my list, this is one of the worst, Steve. This is on my worst list, not my best.
What is?
This song, You're Gonna Pay.
Oh, you didn't? You hated that too?
Now, I enjoyed the Limp Bizkit.
You enjoyed Rollin'.
Yeah, I enjoyed Rollin'. I enjoy the biker gimmick. I'm probably one of the few that actually enjoy the Undertaker biker gimmick.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Showed a little personality of him.
But
Yeah.
the You're Gonna Pay was one of the worst.
Yes.
I think there was a lyric that says "kicking assholes in the ass" or something. There's just some weird.
That could be. That's one that we all three are in agreement
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Was
But
the Undertaker.
No way. No
And
thanks.
The Rollin' though was, I thought, better than obviously You're Gonna Pay, because we all agree that
I don't think
it's
anything's
terrible.
better than Limp Bizkit personally, but that's just my opinion.
You don't think anything's better than Limp Bizkit?
No.
Well,
Did I just sid that? Did I just sid? No, I don't think anything is worse than Limp Bizkit.
I enjoyed it.
That's so funny.
I like
My
Limp
brain is
Bizkit.
half the size of yours.
Can we do this again? We're live, pal. Oh, it's great. So The Undertaker has had many themes.
Yes.
And on my list of one that I enjoy when he was a part of, not just his personal theme, but the corporate ministry, their theme. I always enjoy the corporate ministry. And there's a mixture of Vince McMahon's and The Undertaker. And you had Shane laughing in the background.
It sounds like I'm walking through a haunted house.
The No Chance. Like, I've got that on my list as Vince because it's.
But this is
It's
a
so-
mixture.
This is a
Yeah.
mixture.
I enjoy the mixture.
This is the mashup.
Yeah, you like
Yeah.
the mashups, huh?
I love the mashups. But this was a corporate ministries theme. Undertaker, Triple H, Shane, China, Big Boss
Yeah.
Man, Midian, Viscera, all those.
Ken Shamrock at one point.
Yeah. This is great.
Yeah, the Brood. That's how we got the Brood.
Yeah.
Brood. No, that's in my top five.
Midian, right?
Yeah.
Midian was probably in there.
Yeah, so that I enjoy that theme because it takes, Undertaker plus Vince McMahon. We all agree Vince is great too. That's on my top list of one of my favorites. But yeah, Undertaker has that many themes. One guy that has that many themes is Triple H, and from Motorhead being his theme, we've had back when he was the what was it, the Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and he had that
bloop,
theme song. I don't need to download it because
It's so funny saying
The
Hunter
Connecticut
Hearst
Blue
Helmsley
Blood.
now. Because he's clearly not even close to being Hunter Hearst Helmsley anymore, but he still says
Yeah, but he's still
that's still
still
what it
Triple
stands
H.
for.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
don't kid yourself.
But my favorite Triple H theme
People call him Hunter.
is is when he had My Time. Probably one of the best wrestling openers. This always got me pumped. It's probably one of his best themes.
The lights flashing down.
Yeah.
This is when he was just starting to get main event status.
Yeah.
Like with
Yeah.
WrestleMania,
Yeah.
The Rock and Stone Cold and stuff.
This when he separated himself from DX.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was still with China, but he was, on his own.
Well, Shawn Michaels is gone at this point.
Yeah. He dropped the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
This is the beginning of his water spraying days.
yeah, yes, exactly. This is where he's standing at the top of the ramp and he's just drenched and he pours the water on his head at this point. Then he drinks it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It is good. I do like that one. Maybe because I just love the sound of Motorhead.
Yeah.
And that's definitely his best non-Motorhead theme song that he ever had.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Motorhead's going to be a theme for the show because they are involved in a ton
Yeah, I mean, with
of entrance music.
Triple H, I was saying before the show, it's like you can have your own best and worst Triple H
Theme
music.
songs, sure.
Yeah.
Because he's like, Motorhead, I love you guys. Just, make me a new song every 3 years.
Yeah, it's like even Lemmy's voice. You're just like, oh man, okay.
Yeah.
Like that's enough.
You're like, oh, this guy's ready to beat some ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna stink not having Lemmy around anymore.
Lemmy performing when they performed this live. Was it WrestleMania?
Yeah,
It was
And-
terrible.
And then who do you? No,
It was
put
too
it.
fa- it was-
Didn't he
it
put like
was
the
bad.
drummer or somebody on his shoulders?
I don't know. Do not know.
I don't know.
He got pretty pumped. That's all I remember.
I remember standing next to Lemmy as he was singing it.
Yeah.
It was really weird and uncomfortable. Lemmy's just like,
Yeah.
just let me sing my song, man.
Leave me alone.
Triple H just like flexing and spitting water.
I think the problem with that it was too fast. I think they
Yeah.
kind of a little fast forward the song. They were playing it a little bit too quick, and it didn't have kind of like the the presence here.
Sure.
But
Live bands at WrestleMania is fun. I have Bray Wyatt's on my list because I think it's just an amazing song.
It is.
Standing alone.
Yes.
And
here's
wait.
here's a live version.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Lemmy. Yeah.
There's no laugh.
Yeah, Lemmy live. It's not Lemmy recorded.
It's pretty so bad.
Well, because he's overdubs when he records, so he'll say
Yeah.
one line
Yeah.
and take a 10-minute break. He had a shot and a cigarette, and then
Right.
he comes back and he'll do another line.
Still a fan. I still like it.
Yeah. If I'd have been there, I'd have been nuts at this point.
Yeah. That's the thing. I still want to enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the live version. Remember, Saliva was live. Drowning Pool was live at WrestleMania 18.
Well,
So
don't
bad.
forget about
All of that so bad.
Flo Rida and MGK
Oh yeah, Flow Rider.
going live from Miami.
Yeah.
That was awful too.
Those were good.
We are going to talk about In Living Color for CM Punk
Also live.
at WrestleMania in New York.
That was
Solid.
awesome. I was there for that. And then was that last year? You were saying Bray Wyatt.
Bray
was
Wyatt's was last year? Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah.
Not this past year.
It was WrestleMania 30, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
30. Yeah,
In New Orleans.
Yeah, and they all had the masks on
Yes.
and stuff.
That
Mark
was
Crozier.
that was pretty sweet. Yeah,
Then that's such a great
It's a
standalone
song. It's a great song. And I wish that more wrestlers would go that route and find a song of a guy who's not really like, hey, Seafair, you want anybody?
There you go.
Any wrestler that's out there that wants Seafair to write them a theme song, I'm in. And you don't have to pay us for it. We'll do it. Take it with you.
there you go.
That Mark Crozier probably the same thing where they heard that song and they're like, "Yep, we're going to use that guy's song," and nobody's heard of him.
Yeah.
ever, But now that song is. I mean, I listen to that song. It's in a playlist. Like,
that song.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
actually
great
surprised
song.
that it's like not on the
and
radio.
it fits him perfectly.
I've never heard that like on a rock radio station or
No,
anything.
that was
No, I won't
recorded.
play that because then they'd have to pay the WWE.
Probably,
would have
that's
to pay
true at this point.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
That song's pretty old too. A few years even before Bray even started using
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
yep,
that song wasn't written for Bray. That
No.
just happened to come upon it.
right.
Because I know these guys are given.
It just fits so perfectly.
It does. It is.
They're given like 4 or 5 entrances. They, see what you like, pick one, and then they will give their opinion if the
Yeah.
production wants to go with it.
But
Then they
I
go
like
with it.
that it wasn't popular, and he made it popular.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
for sure.
Because we were talking about the ECW songs and like how all those guys would use known songs, and like yes, they were cool. And in our minds as wrestling fans growing up, you hear these songs on the radio, you're like, oh, I just
love
totally
to-
be my entrance song.
Yeah.
But it's a song that everybody already knows, and it's like, yeah, I associate with you, but also I associate Metallica just with Metallica.
Yeah.
Like I associate AC/DC with being one of my favorite bands ever, and I don't, but Bray
I'll tell you,
Wyatt.
it's tough to associate Rob Van Dam without hearing "Walk," though. Even though, because I don't like
Yeah.
it, I have never liked his theme music since that song.
Yeah.
But every time I see Rob Van Dam and he does this, all I'm thinking is respect. Like that's the Rob Van Dam I picture always in my head. I always erase whatever theme song he's got now.
But Bray
One in
Wyatt,
the game.
it's good. I mean, Although I will say CM Punk and Cult of Personality.
Yeah.
That was so smart and brilliant because it had been so long.
Oh, it was probably like Living Color. They probably approached Living Color and like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah. Please.
I mean, how long had it been since that song had come out?
Sure.
15?
88.
20, 30 years?
1988, yeah.
20-some years then, yeah. Because it would be, in a few years, it would be 30 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so, I mean, there was enough time that lapsed between that it worked very
And they
well.
probably own the rights to that song, too, so they don't have to, WWE didn't have to probably shell out a ton of money to get them.
And I guess it worked, too, because then it all centered around CM Punk not being in WWE, quote-unquote, at the time.
Right.
Right, and then it returns to that.
Yep.
And so it's like, who's coming up to this generic rock song that we all already know and is clearly not a WWE-made song? You're like, oh, it's CM Punk. Of course he's coming out to that. He's such a dick.
One song for Motorhead, back on Motorhead, was, I think Steve and I have on our list, the top themes is Evolution.
Yeah.
And Evolution was
That's another sweet standalone song.
Was just a sweet theme fitting Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Batista.
Yeah.
And it fit the group.
Sure.
Transcending wrestling. You had the old guy in Flair, the Triple H, the current. Then you had the future in Batista. And even the lyrics, helped kind of like fit the group as well with the guys that were here in the group. But Evolution, that song, it's a great workout song. It's still a song that's still relevant. And they were back, 2 years ago? A year?
Two, I think?
2014.
They were in WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
Blue pants. Blue Tista.
But they didn't play Evolution theme at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
they
did. Yeah.
For who?
For
them.
Yeah,
no, not at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it wasn't WrestleMania.
It was
like
okay,
the Rumble because it was against the Shield, wasn't it?
It was before that because 2014 that WrestleMania, it was 2013 that they were together because then you're right, they had the match with the Shield
that
and
was
everything.
Like where they dissolved kind of right after that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was after WrestleMania. It was at Payback. No holds barred.
Yeah, you're
match.
right. It was because 2014 was after WrestleMania because he's like because Batista came back that year at Royal Rumble.
Extreme Rules. They had a match too.
That's when they had the match.
So that was
post WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was post WrestleMania.
So we didn't hear it at WrestleMania. We heard it afterwards.
Yeah, because Randy Orton was standalone. Batista was I Walk Alone. Randy Orton's and Triple H's was his. So yeah, there was no Evolution.
Yeah, because that's when then all of a sudden the Shield was kind of helping Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Because that's when the Shield were the faces, and then Evolution was the heel.
Yep.
And then, but the thing was, that song is so good, and I don't mark out, but I get like, I hear that song, it's a nice pop.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But when that song came on, the first time in almost 10 years, and the guys came walking out in 2014, it got no response whatsoever. It got no pop. These guys coming out at all.
It's because they were no longer Evolution. They were all just old.
Yeah.
Batista, in his mid-40s. Triple H in his 40s.
It serves for the proper time.
Yeah.
You try to bring it back, and it's going to fall.
Yeah.
It always will.
As a wrestling song, no longer valid. But as a song, still pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I still like it. I'm pretty sure Lemmy sings about limousine riding in that song. I think that's in the lyrics, isn't it?
Let me sing a song about Ric Flair. I mean, there's nothing above that, really. It kind of ends there.
As long as it sounds.
We'd love to be a fly on the wall in that conversation.
Yeah.
All right, sing us a song about this guy right here.
Yeah.
Ric Flair. What? And then have those two talk.
All right, Rick, what do you want to sing about? What do you want it to sound like?
I'm pretty sure
women they've slayed between the two of them.
I'm pretty sure Motorhead could probably play a full set just for their wrestling themes.
Oh, sure.
Just a full show, just all the wrestling themes, and have it be able to just do all wrestling for one set. Other ones that I have enjoyed that are on my list that maybe you guys didn't really mention, just really quick, the Four Horsemen. I love the Four Horsemen WCW theme.
Yeah,
and I know you forgot about it, Ryan, before you walked in. I played it for you.
Yeah, as soon as you played it, it was like instantly you brought it right back. I was like, yeah, that's.
Steve, did you like the Four Horsemen?
It is a beautiful 80s.
And that's what it is.
It's a beautiful 80s cut.
Yeah, little beautiful 80s action. I don't know. I just tried to stay away from the faction.
I tried to do that. I tried to do that.
I was trying to think more so of the individuals.
Well,
even though the DX original song, I did enjoy.
Oh wait for it.
This was Arn Anderson's theme before Four Horsemen.
There's the guitar solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet guitar singing to me.
About to make love to your girl.
This actually is I'm pretty sure that Steven Seagal made love to someone in one of his movies.
Probably.
As the montage fades to a sunset over to the beach.
Yeah.
I feel like this song is like it's also in like every 80s Nintendo game as like the in-between thing between levels. It's just like it shows a picture.
Wasn't this in the Mel Gibson sex scene of Lethal Weapon?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
And it fits Arn Anderson perfectly, too. Burly of a man.
Oh, yeah.
It's great theme.
Oh. Speaking of burly of a man, I don't think anybody had this on their list. But, or maybe, did somebody have Regal?
No.
His Manly Man song?
Oh, it was so bad. He hated that song, too. That song, See, we'll talk about it with you guys, because the character could be good, but the song could be terrible, and it doesn't reflect on the wrestler itself, but
right.
the theme song could just totally ruin it for you when it comes to a wrestler.
He did, of course, hate it, but that reminded me of when we were talking about people who were, like, singing their own songs. He did sing that, but, like, really, I think we both had somebody who sang their own. Like, you had Shawn Michaels singing, and he sang on that. I almost put that on my list too, but I was like, it's not.
Sexy Boys.
It's so iconic at this point, but it's so awful. But I thought back even further. I was like, man, who else sang? I was like, oh my God, the Mountie. Do you remember the Mountie? I'm the Mountie.
I remembered it. Glenn played it when I came in today. I was like, oh my God. Oh, it's so
bad.
It sounds like a song from South Park.
Yeah, it's almost so bad it's good.
Yeah. It sounds like Blame Canada.
Yeah.
How can you take a guy seriously coming out the ring to this song?
Because he had an electric shock thing.
Yeah,
That's why you took him seriously as the Mountie.
But this song, I was just laughing.
Yeah, I know.
He says he's handsome. Like, you're a heel, and you're singing about...
So bad.
Spent a night in Cobb County Jail, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's basically...
Forever down.
He's basically the French-Canadian version of Beauty and the Beast Gaston coming out to his own song.
Well, we're talking from the Mountie because he was one of the Rougeau brothers, and the Rougeaus had another amazing theme song called "We're American Boys" or "All American Boys," and it was like they come out in the fleur-de-lis and they're waving the little tiny American flags. Like, we're American boys, are clearly not American boys, guys. But yeah, that was another corny but fantastic song.
American Boys American Boys.
It's a perfect 80s montage song.
Pretty bad.
He just dropped Montreal to Memphis.
He did.
There it is.
Oh my goodness.
Thank goodness that American Males came out to redeem the wrestling theme music world.
These guys weren't fooling anybody, though.
So bad.
You play all the theme songs
needed
you want.
American Males after you have American Boys.
American Males was so bad.
But so good. Listen, I saw Buff Bagwell sing that live in an AIW show.
Man.
It was so great.
The video, I think, ruins it for me. Because the video is just like a Calvin Klein commercial, black and white. These guys topless just around like a city.
It was a new version of the Freebirds song. That's what they were trying to do. That's
so
Buff Bagwell's a
bad.
gigolo. Of course it's going to be dancing around with Calvin Klein.
I like the alien the alien chorus. Sounds like an alien saying it. God, so bad. Such a deep, words to this song.
There has to be a point where they're like, all right, we're going to sing our own theme song. And someone's just got to be that guy that steps up and goes, nope, no, you're not. You're not going to do it.
So bad.
Or go record it really quick and bring it back to us. Let me hear what it
The
sounds like.
honky tonk man, at least it fit his gimmick.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, and Glenn,
He
you
didn't
brought
really
this
even
up.
sing, though. It was just like he kind of talked, but it
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah, but it worked.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about, I was thinking it was Jeff Jarrett, and then Glenn, you looked it up, and that was correct, because I remember then the roadie, a.k.a. Road Dogg Jesse James, and Jeff Jarrett actually lip-syncing the country song.
Yeah, with a bunch of busty babes in a bar
Yeah.
singing the song. And that was a Road Dogg. Road Dogg doesn't have a bad voice at all.
No, not at all,
That's
man.
pretty good.
Yeah, he's a little country boy.
Yeah.
That's, some people singing their songs, it works. Some people, it doesn't. And for the most part, I think we find that singing your own song does not work.
Now, Jeff Jarrett has had many themes from his time in WWF to WCW to
Right.
TNA. But my favorite Jeff Jarrett theme
Chosen one.
is this one from WCW that has the train horn, whatever, that every single song had
Basically
back
Kid
in the
Rock.
late 90s, early 2000s.
The Kid Rock collage at the beginning.
Yeah. It's like a tribute to Kid Rock. This is the chosen one. I love this one. That's because the beginning was the best.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, that's Jeff Jarrett. It's from WCW. Speaking of WCW, now this is not one that many people think of, but Vince Russo had his theme back in WCW.
I mean,
And-
Vince Russo sucked in WCW, so I didn't
Yeah.
want to even give him the benefit of
Mentioning him at all.
mentioning his theme song.
Vince Russo character.
But
yeah.
it was just like what?
Hey, guys, I wrote a lot of good stuff a couple years ago.
Yeah. It was just basically Iron Man with
Right.
no lyrics. It was such a bad cover.
Which
of
way
it.
back when the Road Warriors came out to Iron Man.
Yeah.
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 What a rush.
That's what a sweet beginning. As
Then it-
awesome
then it
as
turned
Levy's
into another
voice,
80s song.
as awesome as Levy's voice is, that voice at that beginning.
Now, the other theme that I enjoyed that's on my list, speaking of Buff Bagwell,
Jeez.
is when Buff Daddy.
Big Bad Booty Dad. No,
That's Scott
that's
Steiner.
Scott Steiner.
We don't
This
make that
one.
mistake here.
Yeah, my bad.
This one with WCW.
Yeah. Stuff, yeah.
This one, and he did that dance. And that big old top hat he always
Yep.
wore in the ring.
Yep.
That's my favorite Buff Bagwell
his,
time
That's
era.
his number one go-to dance
Yeah.
move, by the way, because he would do that while singing American
Yeah.
Tales.
That's his only dance
Just
move, I
loved it.
think. His only.
I think, you know what we need? We talked about Triple H, but what we should have touched on there is the collection of the D-Generation X music in general.
Just
Like
the-
everybody in the group. Because there were some awful, like Triple H, we've talked, everybody makes a joke about like Triple H burying people.
Yeah.
I feel like he did that with DX's theme music. Like, nobody gets a better song than me, guys.
Yeah.
You
guys all get the songs with that
'Cause
guy
that's-
yelling in it.
Because that's exactly what happened. Like, Mr. Ass and Ass Man.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
an ass man. What?
here you go, Jim Allison. Let's talk about Mr. Ass Man.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we got to talk about Mr. Ass because this one, not only for our list, but for any list, is one of the worst themes ever because of the lyrics.
I love to. What is it? I love to shake them. I love to beat them. At some point, it says, "I love to stick them."
Yeah, he loves to shove them too. How do you shove
How
an
do you
ass?
shove an ass?
I don't get it.
There's only one way I know about sticking an ass, and I don't know.
Billy Gunn's playing in that playground.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Ass was awful.
It was not good. I mean, the Road Dogg, the
Is that
New
a
Age.
Jim Johnston song? By the way, Jim Johnston. Geez, what a career.
What a career! You talk.
WWE Future Hall of Famer right there.
Four
You know-
four Goldens, and then the rest.
That's the
700 terrible songs.
He's the kind of guy when the Ultimate Warrior talking about like the Warrior Award, for
Seriously.
people in the background.
Jim
That's the kind
Johnson.
of guy you who should be getting that.
Yeah.
But the New Age Outlaws, their song in general, not bad. I don't think anybody ever paid attention to it because the Road Dogg just talked the whole time.
Right.
So it's fine and it worked. We all hate, I think, X-Pac's song, which is
Down, 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 down.
Oh, that
that's
was
the
bad.
Outlaws.
That's Outlaws. No, Xbox is Xbox is the worst.
Make some noise,
It was just so bad.
X-Pac.
Yeah. It's like just mess us up right here.
Suck it.
Like, I know the words. That's the worst part. Like, I hate the song so much that I know the words to it. But it's the same guy. It's that guy
Speak
singing.
my mind. I keep you dropping that bottom line. Suck it. 2 tears in the bucket.
It's basically an awful Beastie Boys song.
Yeah. That guy is in all of them.
Oh, the
all of the
Knuckles.
DX songs. He sings in all of them.
I mean, the regular DX songs, I don't remember it being this bad. Right? Was it this bad?
Are you ready? It's the same guy.
What?
I know, yeah. But it's
Yeah.
DX Band. That's
Yeah,
literally
DX
their
Band.
name, is the
Yeah.
DX Band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
They, at one of
I
the
didn't
shows,
jump down the rabbit hole far enough.
at one of the In Your House shows, they actually performed their own version of the national anthem, and like God Bless
Oh, it
America.
was
They got
terrible.
booed. It was so bad. What's
Now, not do you
bow
now?
to
What
the-
about
break it down? Bow,
a
bow.
music theme that had X-Pac in it? But after he left DX, he teamed with Prince Albert,
Oh, here we go.
and his song was by Uncle Kracker, who I thought at the time this song was sung by Kid Rock, but no, it is the song.
What just happened? Did someone change the station really quick?
With the X Factor. We got one country.
What happened? And then, this doesn't even fit these guys. It's just terrible.
This song was way before its time. I mean, had Florida Georgia Line been around, this song would have
No,
worked. It would have been a
Florida
hit.
Georgia Line's different than Uncle Kracker.
Or Big and Rich.
No, that's definitely not big. This is like
Not
Now,
good.
I always thought
think
this
not
was
good
Kid
is what
Rock.
you were looking to say there.
I always thought this was Kid
Bob
Rock.
with the Bob.
Can't mess with ball with ball.
This theme was so bad.
X-Pac
get rid of
himself?
him.
No, it's not X-Pac.
What?
Rapping right there.
No, that's Uncle Kracker.
That's not Uncle Kracker.
That is
rapping.
Uncle Kracker.
Really?
He sings the
Yeah,
whole
Uncle
song.
Cracker
Yeah.
raps.
Oh, he sang. I know that was him singing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's him the whole song. Yeah. Yeah. So everybody had some good songs and some bad songs. When it come, DX was a good song, but X-Pac's 2 themes after that, or even during the DX, was awful. Just
Yeah,
terrible.
bringing it back around to Big Bad Booty Daddy and Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
Wasn't his music just a siren?
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
siren.
I love that. That's great.
That's why it sounded really.
Because
I
he's a
couldn't
crazy
include him.
person,
I
so it's just a
obviously,
siren.
I totally would have put him on here, but it's just a siren.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, that's
Holler if you hear me.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there
that's
was
got-
music.
Yeah.
okay. It ruined it then.
But this is better. See, this is better. This has his catchphrases throughout. Holler if you hear me, and the siren, which
That's
is
it.
a lot better than say like DDP, who says it's me, it's
Yeah.
me, it's DDP, and he just keeps saying bang.
Well, before we get to DDP, let's give good old Scott Steiner a call. We do this every week on the show. Now, Ryan, this is your first time. We randomly call Scott Steiner when we talk during our show.
Thanks for bringing that up for us, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are now
That was-
calling.
We did
This
not
is
bait
actually
him into
Scott
that
Steiner's
either.
Number 2.
Wow.
We did not bait Ryan into this. He freely wanted to hear Scott Steiner. He's never answered, Ryan.
Really?
No.
Go.
There it is, voicemail.
I'm going to WrestleMania this year, and he is appearing at WrestleCon. And there's a ton of wrestlers that are appearing at WrestleCon I'd love to meet, but he's the only one I think I'm going to actually pay for to get a picture with.
We stayed at the same hotel as WrestleCon last year. I ran in to Scott Steiner, just in the hallway.
It's a crazy person.
He was like 4 doors down from us. And I've told it on the show multiple times. I was just like, hey, so they're all waiting for you out there. He's like, oh, shit, who? And I was like, they're ready, man. I was just all the fans. Oh, fuck.
man.
All right. And I was like, no, it's cool.
He just seems like he hates everything about everything. Like he's just like, get out of my way, human being.
So every time that we walked down the hallway, I would yell out before we got in the room, Scott Steiner! And then Herbie get in our room really quick to see if, I didn't want him coming out.
He never came out.
And beating me up, but he never came out.
Oh, God, love him.
That would have been great
He was just,
to meet
I
him.
saw him and he was in sunglasses. He had a baseball hat on. And it was like an Under Armour t-shirt and just eating an apple.
Yeah, perfect.
And he was wearing an NWO shirt, which I don't think he's allowed to do. He was selling NWO shirts with Scott Steiner like on the back. Big
Oh,
Papa
once he
Pump.
actually met
yeah.
the people, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he's allowed to do that since NWO is now owned by WWE, but I think Scott Steiner can get with it. And then,
They just let him
yeah.
go.
And
Whatever
well,
he
that
wants
was
to
the
do,
weekend that he was barred from the Hall of Fame. his picture was on the
because he threatened Hulk Hogan
at the airport.
Yeah.
So that whole weekend was not good for
Did not
for
enjoy
Mr.
Hulk
Steiner.
Hogan's wife, apparently.
Yeah, that was.
Well, I brought him up. I thought that theme was just the siren nonstop because it brings me to one of my favorite, which is Sergeant Slaughter's nonstop drum roll, where it's just him a turn what, and then just 5 minutes of drum roll.
So bad.
And it's when I was a kid, I saw him at Richfield Coliseum, and he came out, and it felt like it took him a half hour.
Probably did.
There it is. That's it. It's just over and over. I think that's brilliant. Like there's just his chin and just the slow walk.
Yeah, just when you think it's gonna climax to nope. Nothing.
You're gonna add another part into it.
There's no words coming here, folks.
Nope.
It's just a drum roll.
Oh, that's brilliant.
There's nobody else has. Not that this is music, because it's just the same thing over and over. So I guess that's it. Like nobody.
That's it.
I mean, aside from the siren, like nobody really just has a sound effect the whole time.
No.
Like Mick Foley had the car crash at the beginning.
Yeah.
Does Austin have the glass breaking multiple times, or is it just the one big glass break?
I think it's just the beginning glass break.
Yeah.
Which that was the deal
I think that was from what was it, In Your House or whatever, where that happened, where he crashed
when he first did it.
the 316.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Royal Rumble or something like that.
They kept it.
Well, there was one theme that had this, the same thing over and over.
It's the right to censor.
Right to censor.
Oh, these bitches. That's true.
I thought this was perfect. These guys were annoying,
They were.
and they were obviously a
They just
heel.
wanted this to stop.
It was great. It was
Yeah, I
Great
forgot all
theme.
about this one. This is a great one. Those guys were great. Steven Richards. Ivory out of nowhere.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's dropping
Val
Ivory
Venus.
for
Val
the
Venus was
for the
in
Wrestling
there.
Hall of Fame there.
The
Bull
Godfather was in there at one point.
Yeah.
Bill Buchanan was in there.
Val
Ivory,
Venus in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Val Venus was in it. Yeah. That was
Val
great.
Venus had a theme song. Val Venus and Rick Rude, like all the sexy dudes, all have the same theme song. Like
Basically.
Rick Rude and Val Venus, I think, were the same song.
I liked how they had the Godfather and Val Venus, two of the sexual innuendo guys.
Yeah, they got
In
call
Right
them
to
the Right to
Censor.
Censor.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
they had to
great.
turn them. That's how they
great.
became heels. That's like the Attitude Era was full of like the opening of your song was very distinct. They were very driven to that initial pop for an audience. Like now, the only one I really think of is, Cult of Personality when Punk used to come out because it had that beginning. But this, he had that opening and then catchphrase, "Hello, ladies."
Yeah.
Austin with the glass shattering. The Rock, you're going to hear,
Oh yeah.
if you smell it, the Rock is cooking before he comes out. Mick Foley with the car crash.
Yeah.
You don't.
Well, the car crash
The Godfather,
was for,
get on
All right,
the Ho
man.
train.
Nope, on my list, but probably my favorite theme right now besides Bray Wyatt's is Rusev, and he comes out and he's Rusev Udria.
Yeah.
You're right.
Rusev Machka. And it's like, what? And
Yeah.
then this music is amazing. And
Yeah.
It's just like, this dude's going to destroy your face in 5 seconds.
So I think maybe one of the only ones.
That might be the only
right
one.
now.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
guess
it's like, I love that it's like nobody even knows. Like, I mean, I know what he says because I looked it up, but
Yeah.
like I love that everybody's like, what
What's
the
he
hell
say?
is this? It says Rusev hit, Rusev smash.
Oh.
It's like hit.
What
It's
is he, the
like,
Incredible
pound
Hulk?
on him early.
he's the Bulgarian Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
That's a
so
message.
good.
That's
So
a message
mean.
from Rusev to Lana.
I love this dude. This dude's
Hit
my
and
favorite.
smash.
I'll mark out for Rusev all day long.
Richard was great.
What was it? Tables, ladders, and chairs in
Yeah.
Cleveland?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I went full Rusev. I had Rusev t-shirt. I brought the Russian flag. I was wearing the Russian flag around the queue. People are looking at me like, you're the only guy that's running
Only
around
guy.
looking like this.
I will.
Yep.
I will correct myself. The Miz, when he will come out and say, "Hey, I'm awesome,"
Miz says awesome,
Yeah.
that opens it up.
Yeah.
And maybe I guess the New Day with Big E at the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's in a different manner because that's not really. The
I love what they
song,
do now.
That's them saying it. Yeah.
I love what they do now where they'll get up cheap pop from the city wherever they're
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
And they'll come out and say that. They're great. They're the most over team in WWE
But nobody
right now.
has. But that's just that's them doing that on the mic. That's not even really a part of their theme song. You know, The Miz is "I'm Awesome." That's part of his song. Rusev, that's part of it. I mean, people pop for Ziggler with the "I'm Here to Show the World" when that plays.
It's terrible.
But I think it's just recognition of
man.
his song. It's not like the song isn't
He needs
done
a new theme
in that
song,
manner.
by the way. I think.
Well,
He needs a whole new. Just needs a whole new character.
Yeah, that's true.
He's in Motley Crue. He should just come out to Girls, Girls, Girls.
Well, one that hasn't changed. But, I know it's not his voice, but the Big Show, that hasn't changed forever. So bad.
I love that they have to say it's the Big Show because you don't know it's him when he walks out. Wait, who is that?
It's the world's largest athlete.
The Big Slow.
Oh,
I didn't know it was the world's largest athlete.
This poor guy.
So bad. Turn it off.
Let me just,
oh,
throw
man.
my fist up and down in the air.
I'm trying to think. Well, yeah, I don't know anybody that that drives me crazy when people say their own names in the songs too. Like that's like, like we know who you are, man. You don't have to remind us
Yeah, it's
of who you are.
No, there was one thing that had talking with Edge and Christian's theme. You think you know me?
Oh, I hate it.
This
is my worst.
That was bad as it.
This is a test. Always with
Yeah,
tests.
like the lights would go all over the place.
And the
And like,
camera-
where are they?
Yeah.
The camera's like, where are they coming from? Yeah.
Goobers.
And you will never know. Never know.
They were such a
never.
great tag team, so I kind of let it slide.
You are lost and scared.
They always seem to win.
I'll tell you another pop, although it was Attitude Era. And we differ on this one, Ryan.
Yeah.
Because I have it on my best.
Oh.
For that reason, you have it on your worst, I think, with Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
Break the Walls Down.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That countdown.
I was-
and then when that music hit, that was sweet.
I think I love the countdown. I think that's great, but I think that it just turned so drastically that it was like, man, I feel like it could have been something else. Ever since he first debuted and you knew it was him, and it was like, yeah, you're like, yes, like this is cool, and then it turns into a song, and you're like, I was hoping it would be something else, so I guess I'm just like jaded on the fact that I was always hoping it would have been.
If it started off instead like this, break the walls down, Jericho.
Yeah.
Would that be better?
Jericho! Chris Jericho's coming, guys!
break the walls down, X-Pac. I mean, right? That would be more fitting. I think you would like that, man.
Yeah, I feel like if there wasn't any singing, it might be all right.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah?
the singing just ruins it. Like, it's unnecessary.
Although
Or if it was just Jericho just yelling at people or, like, insulting as he was walking down, like, that would have been great. But, hey, what do I know?
I like this one.
I'm indifferent. I don't
It does
really.
say
Not a
Jericho,
fan.
I guess, in the song.
Now remember,
But Jericho's a real
And then,
place.
like, the tube inverts. I don't know, the entrance.
the pinball.
Oh, that was a little weird.
Now remember Jarrett's show, and they
Yeah, oh,
combined
yeah.
the two themes into one.
Let's go to the mashup.
Just awful mashup.
Yep.
So bad. Like we didn't know that it's Big Show and Jericho.
What about-
coming to the ring?
Well, what about the Miz show?
Did they have that?
Because there was that one. Anybody who teams with the Big Show apparently gets a mashup.
Yeah.
You have the Miz show, the Jarrett show. Or what was? Oh, Miz. Was it Miz and R-Truth? They combined theirs.
So bad. This lazy mashup.
Yeah, they gotta stop doing that.
You
I
hear
like
that?
how they, like,
Did you hear
League of
that?
Nations, I like how they've done their own music for that now, and, like,
Yeah, the League
they're
of
not
Nations.
mashing up
Yeah, it's
anybody.
good when the faction has their own song.
Yeah.
Did you
and then
catch
everybody's
it?
got it.
They had the so bad. So
What,
lazy.
Didn't R-Truth
Hey,
and Miz have
you know,
their own?
Miz, tell him get some new music. There's a ton of Cleveland music, man. Someone's gonna I'll get your back. Come to Miz. Mike, come on. I got Seafair song for you.
Did they?
Send him a text.
We'll go have some drinks back at the Fox and Hound back in the day.
Oh, a couple things. remember Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and The Undertaker were tag team champions? Did they have a mashup? And then the other one during that time is the Rock and Sock Connection.
They definitely had a mashup.
And I don't remember if they had a mashup or if it was just like the Rock's music.
They came out separately. There was no mashup.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
right.
I thought.
And Undertaker and Stone Cold came out separately, too. They didn't have a mashup.
I thought that they played a combined song or something at the end
No.
at one point.
Kane had a mashup with somebody.
Undertaker.
He might have had one with the Undertaker.
Kane,
they have like a
Kane-
Brothers of Destruction song.
It was when Kane and Undertaker.
They definitely have a mashup. 'Cause
Yeah,
they just
there
played
was.
it.
Yeah, there was a mashup. It was when Taker had the American Badass or the Rollin'. They played Kane's first, and then they played Undertaker. Was like keep rolling. Yeah, it was. See, then they had.
That's cheap. I don't like that. That's lazy.
This is Ryan's favorite theme.
Oh, my God. It's so bad.
Laziness right
Back
there.
up.
In my hell, it's just this guy in my face singing.
You said we haven't
Like dances and stuff.
we haven't recorded. You have this as you say. There's nothing better than Limp Bizkit. You said that.
We're live,
earlier
buddy.
this show.
Audio. It's audio file. Oh, so bad.
Now, what about if we turn back the hands of time here a little bit
It's the best.
guys from like the 80s? There was a lot of like just music in the 80s.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what I wish it would go back to.
And Macho Man and Ric Flair with like the classical great stuff.
Can you hear those songs in any other place and think of anything besides the Macho Man or Ric Flair when you hear those songs? Like even at graduation, it's like, nope,
Yeah.
Macho Man's coming.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah. Where's he?
I mean, I was at graduation and I was like, is Macho
Seriously?
Man coming?
Yeah.
Is he coming down the aisle right now? It would be amazing.
That's all. Yeah, and it's between this song and Flair. Even Flair's now has his woo at the beginning
Yeah.
of it now.
Yeah,
I
but
like that,
Still,
yeah.
That's
how
fine.
how do you go from, and it's like these. How do you go from graduation to it being the Macho Man? Like, first of all, did Macho Man never graduate high school? I think is the question.
Yeah.
Like, did he in his world, he probably didn't know.
Oh man, I miss
he
that guy
knew. He
so
was
much.
Standout high school.
I used to live in Tampa, and I worked at a mall, and he would come by like every week. He'd be in the mall just walking by. I'd walk by, shake my hand. How you doing? Great to see you much. And then he died like 4 or 5 months after I moved down there. I was so bummed.
Yeah.
So but I never like got to talk to him. I was always just like, hey, big fan. Shook his hand, and that was it. White beard, at this time, but I always was like, yeah, today's gonna be the day that I'm gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna start a conversation.
did
And I
it.
never got to do it.
Oh man.
But yeah, his music it's like it's all you think
For
about.
those two, it's so fitting too because like Macho Man would come out in the big capes.
Absolutely.
And it was pomp and circumstance, literally. And Nate coming out in his robe and
Yep.
just taking their time. And it's like even though all the songs were just for the most part music back then, it fit them so well.
Yeah.
Like the Warrior came out.
It's just
And
nuts music, yeah.
and he just comes charging down the aisle, and you got pumped with it too.
They're my favorite wrestler of all time, Roddy Piper, man.
It's just the bagpipes, and you're like, "Yep, I know this is Rowdy." Like,
Perfect.
They didn't necessarily have the catchphrases, or the catch sound at
Right.
the beginning, like the Attitude Era, but their stuff fit so perfectly.
Right. And I wish that it would be more like that. Now it seems like it's so generic. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to make you a song, and this is the kind of hot music that's happening right now.
Yeah.
But since you don't know what you're going to pick, we're just going to put this for you. We're like Wyatt has a song that fits him perfectly. Rusev's song fits him perfectly.
Yeah.
But all the rest of them are just kind of here's this formula. We'll plug in your stuff into it, and then we'll kind of mold it around. And then it should be different. Like they should.
Remember when Macho Man had a rap album?
Yeah.
yeah, my good friend Chris Clem owns it. We listen to
Punk
it.
Hogan.
We listen to it every year, driving down to WrestleMania.
Yep.
So bad.
I'm not gonna
Be
lie
a
to
man, Hogan. That's what it
Be a
is.
man.
you. He also raps to Triple H about Stephanie in this on this album.
Oh God.
Yeah. So there's that, which is kind of where those rumors escalated even more from.
So good.
One guy, though, in that era that did have words in his music, of course, his song he still comes out to when he's allowed to be in the WWE. And his song is so iconic now.
Oh, you're talking about Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, slow build up with the I Am a Real American, just on the whisper.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we all know most of the words of that song.
Rick Derringer.
Yeah.
But that's another one.
But there's another one.
He got Rick Derringer to sing the song.
You got him to do this.
Yeah, I mean, this transcends.
It does.
It's like we were talking about that earlier with Cena's music. Cena's music now, it's become, the more his outside persona becomes popular, that song becomes more...
Yeah, it's a meme now. It's
Yeah,
pranks.
true.
It's
The
all
prank
crap.
phone call,
Yeah,
If you haven't heard that prank phone call, a John Cena prank phone call, that's
Yeah.
the funniest prank phone call I think
the
I've ever heard in my
trumpets,
life.
they're just synonymous now.
You just won 2 tickets to Red One!
Yeah.
No! We did not pay for the wrestling event! Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, Cena, Basic Lemonomics is my favorite, well, between the two, is my preference.
Over the
Oh, yeah.
wackadoo
Yeah.
or whatever.
I'm not,
it is.
I'm
Yeah,
not a
what do you
fan
call
of-
this new song? What's it called?
Time is now. Can't see
Time
me.
is Now.
Yeah, I think time is now, yeah.
But like, that's like,
This trumpets.
Although
I
that,
annoying.
that's one song that has the beginning, too.
yeah.
Because you know...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple juice. Is that what he says? Apple juice? You said it the other day.
It sounds like it says
That
apple
was a
juice.
wrestling style.
Yeah, he's sending out good messages
Yeah.
at the beginning of it.
I play.
Take a vitamin!
I DJ as well, and I DJ'd the Cleveland Flea this year.
Okay.
A couple times for November and December, and a buddy of mine, Pants Seacrest, Aaron Seacrest, who runs OK Pants. It's a clothing line, anyways. But him and I, were wrestling buddies, we talk, and I would drop themes every hour during this Cleveland Flea, and he would be the only person that would know what was happening. But I threw on the John Cena theme, and some girl comes down. She's like, "This is John Cena's music, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yes, it is." Like, how did you know that? She's like, "I hear this all the time." I'm like, "That's great." Like, I've been doing a new wrestler theme at every hour. She's like, "Oh," she paid attention from that point on. But yeah, you can drop some of these songs. You can just drop.
and I
them.
think because
drop it
it
in.
is John Cena, so many people hate it and think it's a bad song.
Yeah,
But if that song was by itself, would it be
it wouldn't
terrible?
be any worse
terrible?
than it. Yeah.
It wouldn't be any worse than some of these. I mean, you know,
sure.
when we talk about iconic people and you talk about Hulk Hogan and his, I mean, that's super cheesy, but for the time, it was amazing.
Oh,
John
yeah.
Cena's is super cheesy, but it works for what it is right now.
Yeah.
And the bringing in the hip hop in this era, I guess, works. Him doing it. It's certainly not any cheesier than Sting's original song.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I gotta hear. I don't remember it,
When
but
we-
you talked about it.
When we talk about lyrics and how awful lyrics are, I mean, I think that one it probably takes the cake for me. I mean, like the Mountie and him singing, "I'm the Mountie."
Yeah.
Like, this is the next worst thing, is that you have someone singing your song for you, and it's as bad as Sting's was.
So bad. Big Steve, you had the lyric. You had it.
It's gonna come up. All the kids go wild.
So terrible.
At one point he say he does this, he does that. Big as a bull, as quick as a cat. The man called Sting.
That's been my mother yelling at me when I
All
was a
the-
kid.
Did he say all the kids
I
go
can't-
wild
I can't
and the
do
old
that.
people act like a child?
Well, yeah, that's the actual lyric. Speaking of terrible lyrics, remember Billy Kidman? He had in WWF. He came to WWF. He was a cruiserweight, and we all know him in Raven's Flock, being a cruiserweight WCW. But his song, this did not fit him whatsoever. This
screams Billy Kidman.
Yeah, this is totally. I don't know what you're
Screams
talking
Troy
about.
Wilson.
You're on your own on this one.
Now,
Clearly, Billy Kidman.
this song, the lyrics of this song is basically telling someone that they're going to get raped in the streets. Because the lyric says, all of a sudden, you starting to feel sleepy, but in the streets when you doze off, you wake up with your clothes off.
What?
Yeah, you just party really hard.
Like,
No wonder he just wore the same.
what does it have to do
White
with
beater and jeans.
anything wrestling whatsoever? But that was Billy Kidman's.
Sounds
You
like DMX.
obviously didn't know that Billy Kidman was part of the Rough Riders.
What you really want?
That was
Billy
one of my
Kidman.
that was one of my worst themes. Definitely in my top 10
That's
list.
terrible.
It's awful.
It's not good. You know, back to hip hop, and this goes with when we're talking about people singing their own songs. What about? Do you give any props to R-Truth coming out and rapping his song all the time? What's up?
I sometimes, I mean, I can't tell if he's rapping like that because he's not a very good rapper, or if he's rapping like that because he thinks like it's funny and he's just like playing along with it. Like right now, when he comes out and raps, and or the way his gimmick now is hilarious. I love.
Oh,
that
yeah.
he's acting like
He's an idiot.
he has no idea what's going on, which makes the rapping he does that much funnier, I guess. But when he was he legit tries to like make songs and raps and stuff. Oh yeah, it's not terrible, but it's just kind of it's throwback. It's like more of an 80s, early 90s.
Gonna
style.
move some things.
Yeah, yeah. He's rapping about corny stuff.
Yeah,
It's probably a more legitimate rap than John Cena. I
Yeah.
would say.
It's in the same book. Like they
K Quick.
yeah.
I would hate
Quick.
K Quick and Road Dogg were a tag team for a little bit. They actually came out singing together.
They were, yeah.
Way back in the
Do we
day.
have that?
I can look for that.
All right.
monstrosity
yeah, when
of-
John Cena raps,
Yeah,
R-Truth. They're
but at least R-Truth, like when he's rapping and he comes out, you're like, oh, okay, this guy is rapping. When John Cena would like get in the ring and he was Dr. Thugonomics, like, no, John, you're citing poetry right now.
right.
Like, this is not a rap. You're just rhyming words. It's a soliloquy or whatever you want to call it. Everybody.
Stuff before
Yeah.
he came out. That's all John
Iambic pentameter.
Yeah.
Just throwing out words from
K
English.
Quick and Road Dogg. This is it. So bad.
Oh yeah, get rowdy.
I can't listen to that monstrosity.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
Was that even good for its time?
No, that was awful. I think any live, even when R-Truth comes out and sings it, I just can't stand it. I don't like guys singing their theme song coming to the ring. I know he's probably the only one that's done it, but it's just awful.
Why did Shawn Michaels never sing "Sexy Boy" at a WrestleMania or anything coming out to the ring?
I can't think of anybody that has come out and sing their own theme song.
The entire
besides-
time,
Huh?
like besides R-Truth coming out like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I think that he's the only one, I think. Maybe there's somebody back in the day.
I'm sure there's somebody.
So maybe it is
dig
a little
deep
impressive.
enough. Oh, there are people that have come out and just talked.
Maybe
but
Slick Rick. Maybe not Slick Rick.
Jive Soul Bro.
Yeah, Soul Bro.
Never get
That was
nothing in
Akeem.
the
That was
ear.
Akeem's theme.
Could be.
Didn't fit him at all. This Akeem was like some big, huge guy.
A Jive Soul Bro. I do always talking to you.
I mean, Piper
friends.
came out at some point playing bagpipes.
You never get nothing. No, I love Jive Soul Bro.
Oh, I loved it too. I loved it. I marked out when they had him.
so good.
They had Slick. He was the the minister guy for AJ Lee and Daniel Bryan's wedding.
Oh yeah.
He came out.
I have one other person that I think sang their theme.
Who?
I think it was Nikolai Volkov.
Well, he came out and sang the national anthem.
Yeah, but he would sing as he was walking down the aisle.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, he would be in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god, that was that too.
Well, the genius would walk out and say poetry.
You just talk. It would have been great if the Mountie would have sang his song as he was coming down to the
To
ring.
the mountain.
On the Mountie. And like, did just
There's a lot of people that the theme song was their national anthem.
Yeah.
That was-
yeah, back then.
Yeah.
That's how you make bad guys. Oh, we
had Dino Bravo. I love Dino Bravo.
Yeah.
He'd come out to the French national anthem, and he'd make everybody stand up and rise for this French national. What?
Anytime you have foreigners, the way to get them heat is to be like, make them love your country song instead of America's.
Yeah.
Like, so much so that it gets to the point where, like, there are shows where they're in Canada and people start chanting USA.
Right.
And that's how you know you hit it.
Remember,
you know you've made your strides as an organization if you can go into a different country and they chant for USA.
And remember the Oddities?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the Raw, that was sung by ICP.
Yep.
That song was just
They would come down
horrible.
to the ring rapping terribly.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
ICP wasn't ever really good.
I hated the Oddities. I hated ICP.
Yeah.
You have to listen to
Oh, so bad.
one album on repeat for 24 hours. You get ICP or Limp Bizkit. Go.
ICP. Heartbeat. Not even a question. I'll take Riddlebox all day long. I don't mind Riddlebox. I don't mind Great Malenko.
I love Limp Bizkit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great Malenko's
But
pretty good.
yeah.
Great Malenko.
I wouldn't mind listening. I don't care enough about ICP. I used to like them way back in the day before I realized how terrible they were.
True
Before there were
story.
juggalos, before there was any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we used to
ICP
see them at Peabody's, and it was a fun show. And
Why would
but
you show up Peabody's? Yeah.
it was a lot different.
True story. I liked wrestling so much more than music that the first time I heard the Great Malenko, I thought it was
They
a
were for
song
wrestling?
tributed.
Yeah.
I thought it was a tribute to Dean Malenko. I was like, this is so cool.
yeah.
They made a song about the
kinda.
wrestler.
Is this ICP you're talking about?
Yeah.
I hated ICP.
Yeah. Now it's just like, yeesh.
They had
But
their
I'd
own.
still
They
take
had their
it.
own wrestling promotion, Juggalo Championship Wrestling,
Championship Wrestling.
and they were actually in Cleveland last month they were in Cleveland performing at the Agora.
I mean, there's no doubt that wrestling themes
They
have
have
made...
their own world, man.
Yeah.
Wrestling themes have definitely made people do stupid stuff, like Lance Storm when he was the party guy,
Oh God, that
having
was
to
awful.
dance.
I don't remember that.
He
It's
would
not on your
cabbage
list.
patch. He would
Oh, my
cabbage.
God.
He'd come out and he would try to do the cabbage patch dance move,
If I can be serious for a minute,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was awful.
I love Lance Storm.
yeah, I love Lance Storm too.
Oh, you know who has their own? Who just has like a sound effect the whole time? Was speaking of Kane, was Isaac Yankem? Isn't it just
Yeah.
straight drilling?
Oh, jeez.
Like the whole time, that's all it is. Was when he was Isaac Yankem DDS. You just
Really?
It's something that there might be some music with it. Like, yeah,
Oh, drilling star. That's it. He's coming to the ring right now. He's making his way to the ring with Jerry the
Stuff in
King Lawler.
background, mostly drilling,
Jeez.
and his god awful teeth.
And if you're
That's
ever
rough.
if you're ever going to interview Kane, make sure you never mention Isaac Yankem because he will end the interview like
Really?
that. Yeah, he did it a couple of times. Radio stations.
Why?
He just doesn't. He hated it.
Yeah.
Well, who wouldn't?
It wasn't his choice. It's not like it,
They did make fun of it on WWE.com. They had like wrestlers that were actual like job people, and he like made that list because obviously a dentist, and he was like, I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure he's trying to distance himself from the character,
had,
for sure. But you
Christmas
gotta,
creature.
yeah, you
Yeah.
have to realize that
They had Duke the Dumpster Drozy.
everybody knows that you were this guy at one point. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
It's all right.
Let's own it, man. Just own it. It's where you're getting. What
Yeah.
you got in.
Did you? Oh, you know, he had sweet music that lasted for a long time, and it didn't just what the Hart Foundation, and then
Yeah.
it became Bret Hart's song. That was sweet.
it was so good, but it was Hart Foundation. They tweaked it a little bit for Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Like they made it a little bit more like newer.
Right.
But the original.
That original like
yeah,
that initial like scratch on the guitar
Yeah, that
when
was
it
great.
first start, and then breaking it down.
Loved the Hart Foundation.
I hated the Hart Foundation.
Really?
Hated Bret Hart.
Yeah, this is the
there it
new.
is.
That's new Bret Hart. I could literally tell you that's how big of a fan I was of Bret Hart.
I can't stand Bret Hart.
This is the new Bret Hart. The
This is
old
Bret
one.
Hart,
Yeah.
not Hart Foundation.
Right. But they're very similar.
They are.
Bret Hart was so good, man.
Yeah, how can you dislike Bret Hart?
Wasn't a fan.
That was a golden era for tag teams, man.
Just wasn't a fan of Hart Foundation or
Is it the
Even
Survivor
Bret Hart.
Series where it was like his coming out party for him it wasn't It was the Hart Foundation Wrestling, but he was against Money Inc., I think it was. And Bret Hart beat like 2 or 3 guys from Money Inc. And he was so good. It was like him and the $1 Million Man were the last 2. And it was like 5 minutes with just those 2. And it's like still this day I watch it and I'll be like, man, there was such a good match between those 2 guys at the end.
I didn't like him because of the Canada thing, probably. That's why I didn't.
Really?
I'm like, this guy's from freaking Canada. I'm not going to root for the Canada guy. I'm rooting for the Patriot.
It was the Patriot.
The $1 Million
There
Man.
you go.
Yeah, Patriot, too. Patriot had a few with him.
No, the Patriot's a good. Yeah, Patriot had like a feud for him for with 3 months, and then you never saw the Patriot again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is a good segue because then there's guys who we've had repeat music, and WWE.com did this whole total list of it. So I don't think we need to rehash it, but like the Patriot, this one guy wasn't around very long. His music was still there, and then
Kurt Angle.
The middle of the 90s comes Kurt Angle. Wow, this guy needs some music that sounds patriotic. Hey, we used to have a guy called the Patriot.
Yep.
And unfortunately for Kurt Angle, you can chant "You suck" perfectly.
I love it. See, I don't mind this. I thought this was good.
No, I
No,
thought it was
I
good,
don't.
too.
I don't think this is bad
But
at
I
all.
love that the "You Suck" got thrown in.
Exactly.
It's so good.
The "You suck" I think is what ends up making it more than anything.
So good.
Like
Great.
even if you don't play a live version where they're chanting "You suck," in my mind I always hear it.
Yeah. No matter if he was a good guy or a bad guy.
Yeah.
Even when he was back to a good guy, they still said it just because.
If he was to come out tomorrow, he would hear that.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, that's just like now with John Cena, how you have to sing "Cena sucks."
Yeah.
John Cena sucks.
All right, we're over an hour here. Now, let's do some rapid fire. Go over our list really quick. Some of the ones that we didn't get to. And I'll start with mine. Steiner Brothers, Steiner Line from WCW.
Okay.
I've been hooked on WCW pay-per-views and Nitros. And when that song comes on when Scott and Rick come out. I love Rick Steiner anyway, but Steiner Line is always a good one. Batista, I Walk Alone is one I always enjoy. And we didn't talk about this one, The Brood. How do we miss The Brood?
It was kind of thrown in there with
this?
the corporate ministry stuff, but
Yeah.
I still probably one of the best entrances, period.
Yeah,
coming
the
up from the
entrance in
floor
general was
of
sweet.
fire, the Ring of Fire.
The song was just amazing.
And the song was another standalone song that you could listen
Yeah,
to.
it's just Gangrel was a below-average wrestler,
yeah.
but he probably has the best entrance music ever.
Yeah. And it's like a hip hop beat, but it's still gothy.
It's amazing.
It was really well done. You know what else is on your list that we didn't talk about? Is the NWO.
Oh yeah, we didn't hit on factions that much. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I
the
think
sleaziest song in wrestling, and it worked perfect.
called Roadhouse.
it was like Hulk Hogan then using Jimi Hendrix after that.
Yeah. Yep, Jimmy Hendrix.
Clutch. Now somehow you take like one of the greatest rockers of all time, and now unfortunately you hear that song
Yep.
and you're like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, Hulk Hogan. No,
Yeah, it's Jimmy.
Hulk Hogan coming out playing,
Jimi Hendrix.
playing,
Oh, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
playing the title with the with the belt. Playing
Oh,
the
no, yeah,
guitar.
I heard Jimi Hendrix made that song for Hulk Hogan. What?
Some of the worst Hardy Boys. I hated their theme.
Man,
Hardy Boys is Brie Bella, her new one.
Brie mode.
The auto tune.
Screams
I'm not
Brie
even gonna
mode.
play it. Lita's was awful. I hated Lita's.
That's a
It's just a person screaming.
No,
And-
she's into that.
It's just I know, but it doesn't make it any better.
I'll go to a
I
show
don't
with
know.
her.
Whatever. I'm into her.
That was bad. Oddity's terrible, and then RVD's TNA theme is completely
yeah.
awful too.
I don't like anything of RVD's music besides Pantera.
Yeah, Ryan, go over your list. What's the ones that we didn't hit on?
Ones we didn't get to. Got to Sheamus's. I don't like Sheamus's.
New
music.
one or old one?
New one. The one he's got.
Yeah,
now.
I don't like either one.
I don't like Brock Lesnar's.
I love Lesnar.
It sounds basic. Like I feel like Brock Lesnar should be like more
It gets
like
to the point, though.
I feel like Godzilla music should be Brock Lesnar's. Like I feel like dun dun dun. Yeah, like it should be like after that, like dun dun dun.
This is like powerful. Like this guy's gonna kick your ass, man.
This is
And he
like
bounces to it perfectly.
Yeah.
but I feel like if it should be like
like something
like
off the
with that
Godzilla
little
soundtrack.
drum beat, like dun
Even when Heyman comes out by himself to this, like I'm still like, where's Brock at? Where's he going to come out of?
Well, yeah, I mean, now you recognize the song with him, but I feel like it should have like more of a scarier feeling to me with this.
I think it's pretty scary, man.
But and then Orton is I can't stand Randy Orton's music. Period.
Any Orton's music is awful. Any of his themes are.
I just
terrible.
like it. I cringe when I hear that song. Like even like at the live event, like he walked by me and I was like, "Change your music, dude." He's I didn't realize how big of a dude that guy is until I stood next to him.
Yeah.
He's a monster. Like he's bigger than Lesnar. Like he's a big, tall.
He's a tall guy.
Yeah.
Like you should have some different music, man. I always feel like he should have Jake the Snake's music or something slimy like that, where it's like
this is a Viper.
Yeah, this is just so bad.
Do you notice that they call him the Viper, but they say, "Oh, the Viper is going to strike."
Yeah.
But with Jake the Snake, they never called him the Snake.
No.
Like, oh, the Snake with the DDT. Like they never said that. The Viper with with
Roberts.
the RKO.
Hey, that's my point.
Yeah.
yeah. Jake the Snake. He's the only guy with like a nickname that you've never called him.
The Snake.
The Snake.
Yeah.
You call Bret Hart the Hitman.
Hitman. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
The Heartbreak Kid. You call him the Game.
Yeah.
But Jake's never been the Snake.
Yeah.
Nope.
Some of your
That's it, really.
Some
I like Tyler Breeze's
some of your good ones.
theme.
We missed Piper.
I like Tyler.
No, I talked about Piper.
I like Tyler
Vince.
Breeze
We
a little
talked
bit.
about Vince a little bit with the corporate ministry.
Yeah.
I do like the new Tyler Breeze.
I like Tyler Breeze's music is great. Fits him perfectly.
Perfect. Yeah.
Is that
little
him
outside
singing in that too?
Yes, it is him.
Is it really him
Yeah.
singing?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Because the words of that are pretty
Samoa
spot
Joe.
on.
Great
Oh,
theme
Samoa
song.
Joe.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought about that on the way
Samoa-
over here today.
Yeah, Samoa Joe's.
I like
pretty
you
good.
did put Fandango on there.
Yeah.
Love the fact that just caught wildfire.
Yeah. But they squashed that pretty
That's
quickly.
the best
Yeah.
when it takes on a world of its own.
Steve, your list.
Oh, my list. There's stuff we didn't talk about Goldberg, which
Another good one.
I think the entrance was better than
I
the
think
music.
it's the entrance is what makes the theme. I don't know. They go hand in hand. The theme has to make the entrance. The entrance has to make the theme, and I think those just work for who and what he was. Of course, Sky's the Limit with Sasha Banks. I like that. It's not all the time that I'm like, oh, it's Diva's song by itself. But for hers, it fits her, and it's good.
Yeah,
I like
and she
it.
also sang part of the song too.
Yeah. Now, this was just for fun. Grado. Have you seen Grado?
No.
He's a Scottish wrestler. He's shown up on TNA, but he has been having this basically like social media firestorm going because typically when he wrestles, he comes out to Madonna's Like a Prayer.
Oh, I've heard of that.
And
okay.
it is fantastic.
The entrance is better than the song, so.
Oh, but you
it's sort of
gotta
the
throw it
entrance.
together.
All right.
I just love that he comes out to that. And then, I couldn't make a list, Glenn, if we're going to talk about favorites without putting my favorite wrestler of all time. Shane O'Mac.
Oh, jeez.
It fits him, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got the swagger. He's got everything going with this. This is.
Did the Mean Street Posse have like a, was it just
Oh,
like,
Mean Street
Oh,
Posse.
they had their own song.
Mean Street Posse was
was
great.
it like, just like,
It was
Rich?
just like,
I can't
It
remember.
was like some sort of slow hip hop. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
On my not good list, we had Disco Inferno and Brutus
Yeah,
and
oh,
Barber
this is
Beefcake.
Mean Street Posse.
Oh, here.
yeah. The sleazeball music.
Sleazeballs from
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
And their fucking sweater vests coming down.
It reminds me of the theme from Cops.
Yeah.
It's great.
Sounds just like it, yeah.
I wish
Every
they would,
like the,
wish they would
the
come
Shane
back.
O'Mac and the Here Comes the Money, and like these are always go hand in hand.
Every day,
yeah.
somebody's got to pay.
Yeah. Peak gas.
I love that Shane O'Mac.
Oh, great.
I had Too Cool. Didn't ever like that.
No.
The dancing was cheesy. Thank God they did that because otherwise it wouldn't have worked. If we have Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Disco
Oh,
Inferno.
Awful. Oh, I love Disco Inferno.
Nah, his original song was awful. Oh, and Diesel. Diesel's song was terrible. Glenn, if you could... Disco Inferno and Diesel kind of go together, but they sound like, after this, wait for it. This is like a Las Vegas showgirl song.
Diesel?
Yeah.
Tell him Large Marge sent you.
This is like when like the hot chick who gets naked during during Roadhouse
Yeah.
with Patrick
Oh, man.
Swayze. I feel like she's dancing to something like this.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh, can't do Diesel. Oh, terrible.
Good thing Kevin Nash joined the NWO so we can get rid of that song.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, pretty much sums it up. All our entrance music. I put a little more in-depth list of people, but we pretty much hit a lot of people. Currently, I like Kevin Owens' theme. I love Seth Rollins. Dudley Boys, their first theme before they had like any kind of lyrics with theirs.
Yeah.
Just this dun dun dun. Vader was good. The Rock's. What about The Rock? He had a lot of versions of his song.
He did, but all you needed was.
Yeah, you just need his tagline in the beginning.
Who really heard The Rock's song most of the time? Like when he was at his height and at the pinnacle.
Do you smell what the Rock is
The Nation
Forget
mix.
it. We're all
We
going
had-
crazy right now.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything else.
Yeah.
Just a lot of screaming and yelling, and
Yep.
you know that he's saying, "Do you smell the Rock is cooking in the Rock?"
No, you're wrong.
And I don't even know what else is in the background.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. And shut your mouth.
Jabroni.
This got a great theme and entrance is Enzo and Cass. God, man,
The song is just blah, but the entrance is great.
I want Cass to make the big roster or Enzo to make the big roster so he can just talk. I want to have an entrance between Kevin Owens and Enzo talking the whole time. That's what I want.
Big Boss Man early on, I thought was awful. Yoshi,
Georgia.
I hated that.
Respect the law and order.
Yoshi Tatsu was absolutely awful.
Anything for anybody Asian. We talked about this before we started recording.
Uh,
Anybody ethnic, yeah.
Yeah.
With the exception of the Guerreros just embracing lie, we cheat, we steal.
Santino's is awful. I hate Santino's.
Yeah.
Layla's about finding a boy. Why does she need to find a boy if she's going to the ring? David Flair's was awful too. David Flair is just a generic theme. Like you have the son of Ric Flair, one of the best wrestlers of all time, and you give him the worst possible theme.
That's kind of the deal, though. You had to
theme
downplay
ever.
it.
It was
Well, Charlotte has his just with the
Redone.
mix,
Yeah.
little club. It's like club mix basically.
Just going clubbing later.
Kung Fu Naki was awful, and Otunga's is pretty bad. Pretty bad too. But I think we hit on a ton of themes.
You know,
This
there was a good one that I forgot really quick. Al
that?
Snow.
what does everybody
Everybody
want?
what?
Yeah, like everyone knew what that was coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Job Squad's theme was awful too.
Yeah.
Remember the Union? The Union was together for like
The Union was Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
the Big Show, Vince McMahon.
Vince was part of the Union?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because
Union.
the Union that's right before
The ministry.
the
Yeah.
ministry.
Yeah.
Yes, because that was Vince's plan, and he got everybody together.
Then The Undertaker steals Stephanie. And that's, of course, what gave us, "It was me, Austin." Oh, son of a bitch.
It was Ken Shamrock, The Big Show, Test, Mankind, Vince McMahon.
Test.
They were debuted May 3rd, disbanded June 7th.
Wow.
So a whole month they were together. Yeah, they came out with 2x4s. All of them came out with 2x4s to the ring because Vince wanted to lay the smackdown on Shane.
Not
That
as
was
good as the racial factions that we had, though, previously.
Nation of Domination.
Nation of Domination.
DOA.
And then what was the group led by
Los
Savio Vega?
Boricuas.
Los Boricuas,
Yeah.
yes.
Savio Vega.
Savio
Had the Headbangers, too. You had your punk rock guys.
Yeah, but they weren't like a whole faction.
Yeah.
The racist faction there was probably DOA.
DOA was what, 2 guys? 3?
But never mind.
Skull and 8 Ball.
Gonna say.
And Crush.
Would Demolition have counted for a leather faction?
Oh, boy.
Crush also in
Jeez.
that.
Yeah.
Demolition. was
Demolition,
awful.
another theme song where they said the names of the guys in the theme song.
Those guys were at WrestleCon, and they were there signing autographs. They looked terrible shape.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I've
guys
heard.
were on the edge of passing away.
And there's something bad, like they must have bad, like nuclear heat with WWE because they can't get into the Hall of Fame, and you'd think that they would be.
They were tag team champions.
Yeah, they were huge
Yeah.
in the 80s.
They were.
Them and Legion of Doom.
All,
Yeah.
all
LD's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but they were
Yeah.
they had the legendary a lot of matches together. So the Union stood for Up Yours. It stood for Union of People You Ought to Respect, Son.
Son.
That was their slogan. Up
That's
Yours.
awesome.
So that was terrible.
Oh man.
All right, we had a ton of themes. We're over almost an hour and a half into the podcast
Yeah.
of talking about wrestling themes. I thought it was a good start into our topical weekly debate discussion. And we had a ton of themes from WCW, WBE, WBF, TNA. Current TNA star that has a good theme is EC3, a guy that's been on the podcast three times.
EC3s. Forgot about that until we were here.
The poor guy's the only thing holding TNA up by its bootstraps at this point.
But like a lot of guys that were in WWF, WBE, they go to TNA, they try to do a knockoff of the regular theme, and it just doesn't work. Kurt Angle's is awful in TNA. Yeah. With the Dudley Boys, they try to do this, the bomb falling. That was just awful. They try to do some knockoffs, so you know who it is, but they just can't replicate it.
Like DJZ.
TNA's trying.
DJZ does good, but it fits the character.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's good.
That club music.
Yeah.
In terms of him, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not maybe as a standalone.
Yeah.
Unless you're into trap music or whatever that might be.
Electrica, whatever.
EDM,
Electronica,
whatever.
What if, let's say, you were the only person in your band? Would that? Do you think that you could create a good song then?
In a one-man band. One-man band.
Would you make
baby.
a better song than if you had 3 people in your band, or would they sound almost identical?
Oh, God.
Those guys are gone anyways.
Love Heath Slater, though. Been on the podcast. All right, we'll wrap it up. Next week, we don't know what topic we're hitting. This is a random topic we're going to be talking about. Steve and I might have somebody on, might not have somebody on, but any topics that you want to have us discussed on the show, make sure to send us a tweet to me at Glenmore CLE or at the Steve Guy. Our show Twitter is TIA Wrestling. Ryan Kelly from Seafair here in Cleveland.
Hey.
Anything you want to shill out there, buddy?
Seafair is playing at Mayhall's on January 16th. It is a benefit for the Cleveland APL. It's us and Light Years and a bunch of other punk and hardcore bands. We fit right in with that.
Yeah.
But
will you
Above
play?
This Fire, but great bands for a good cause. It's all the money made will go to benefit the APL, and I think we're all pet owners besides me because I have kids. But yeah, come on out to that. And then we got other stuff coming. Just seafairtheband.com, Facebook, all that good stuff.
And you are now our music
guy
that we go to for any musical references.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I'm glad that we finally got to do this.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
I
have a podcast myself.
There you go.
Called Good Enough for a Horse. It's just me and my buddy just talk about absolutely nothing.
That's
garbage.
awesome.
It's pretty funny, though. He's a comedian, so we just talk about this kind of stuff. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Will you perform any wrestling songs at your show?
Maybe. We'll see.
if by request.
I'll tell you what. I will. We always have entrance music. Like that. We'll have a song that plays while we set up. I'll throw one out there for this next show.
Could it be the Mountie?
I'd probably do Cena's actually because I think people would go nuts for it. I think it would, especially that crowd.
You gotta play something they don't get.
You got a Twitter, Ryan, or anything?
R. Kelly 216.
There you go.
It's a Twitter. Yeah, you can tell me how bad my selections were. Music. This musician doesn't know shit about music.
There you go. All right. Next week we'll be back. Make sure to go on iTunes, subscribe. We have a lot of interviews from EC3, The Miz, Jerry the King Lawler, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins. The list goes on and on with the interviews. We'll be back in the interview swing of things when AIW starts up next month in February. Hit up AIWrestling.com on the website to make sure you're first to know when they're going to be announcing their shows for the upcoming year. Only a month away. Also, Fastlane is coming to Cleveland. We'll be talking about that when it gets closer. Oh, God. And WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania, starts in Orlando later this month. Can't believe it's already WrestleMania season.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there, too. We will talk to you guys next week. This is Awesome Wrestling Show, CLEsound.com. Follow us on Twitter at TIA Wrestling. Let us know who are your top themes, your worst themes. Let us know. Got a whole list on my Twitter, but we want you guys to tweet at us at the show and let us know. So we'll talk to you guys next week. This is Awesome Wrestling Show.